Today's demo is going to be something a bit more practical that I've needed to do recently, and this is about styling the code inside a few different kinds of paragraphs. So here I have a number of paragraphs. Starting with the second, they all have a note something class. And now let's move on to the styling and add some basic styles to our paragraph. So first of all, let's blow up the font a bit and make it 1.25 ems, and blow up the line height as well, make it more readable. And now for the code, we do something like font family. And this should work. And now let's set the box sizing to border box. And now let's also set a margin, a padding, and this is going to be 0.5 ems auto, so it's in the middle, and a padding 5 ems, 0.5 ems, and let's give it a width, and this is going to be 100%. Minus 1 em, and let's max it out, and this is going to be this is 800 pixels in the basic case. Now here we're going to set a background, and this is going to be a dirtier white. Too much. Now let's give it a display inline block, and let's give it a padding. This should work, and let's give it a border radius, a teeny tiny border radius, 5 pixels, so this should look nicely. And now for all the paragraphs that have a note class, so the class contains note, and we're going to add a border, a solid 3 pixels. Yeah, this should work. Alright, now let's give these different colors. So we're going to loop through our map. So each key and value pair of our map. And we're going to generate the class name. So it's going to be a note, and we're going to use the key here, key. And the background is going to be the value. And now let's also set the border color, and this is going to be a darken a value, and let's say 15%, which is a bit exaggerated, but it lets us see things better. And what we don't like here is that the code always has that dark, dirty white background. So what we can do is set it to a darker version of our color. So that's background dark, and this dark is going to be this value here. So dark, and we define it here. So yeah, this is it. We got the result we wanted, and it's what, 37 lines of SAS code, and the generated CSS should be less than twice. Yeah, it's 68, so less than twice. But we can probably compact this using CSS custom properties. So we use a hue and a saturation here. So it's a hue and saturation list, which is 00 initially, and a lightness list, which is 100% initially, and we set a background here, so it's background, and it's HSL, and we use up the hue and the saturation list, and then we add up the lightness, and we also create a darker version. So dark is going to be this, but we decrease the lightness, so we put it inside a calc, so that's minus 15%, and we use this dark value both here for the border and in here for the background. So use it there, and here inside loop we don't need this dark, we just need to set separate hue, saturation and lightness. So it's the hue and saturation part, and for this we read the hue of our value, and we do the same with the saturation after this. So this is not going to be the hue, it's going to be the saturation. And then we do the same for the lightness. So we read the lightness. So this is lightness. Alright, and this should work, except it doesn't because of a bug, which is a SAS issue, which apparently has been solved. So we should see this working sometime in the future, and you still see it working, but it's not really working. If we refresh, you're going to see it doesn't work at all, and we get a SAS error here. But the way we can do this at this point is not using SAS at all, just using plain CSS, and we're going to do that just to show that it does work. So we take this thing from here, just to show that it does work, and we're going to put it somewhere here in between comments, and we're going to create manually our classes, note pink, and we're going to have a hue and a saturation, and then we're going to have a lightness, and then we copy paste this thing. So yeah, copy pasting isn't fun, it's time consuming, it's stupid, but if using SAS doesn't work, I just want to show you that it does work with plain CSS, and it should work with SAS, and it's probably going to work at some point in the future. So we need to set the ones above, so it's violet and purple, violet and purple. Now the way we're going to manually extract the hue, saturation and the lightness is we're going to use this neat little tool called CSS Colors, and from here we take the hue and the saturation, and the lightness is 86%, and we put this in the pink. This was 86, and now we collapse it, and you can see that it works for the pink. And now we take the value for the purple and copy paste it in here, and take the hue and the saturation, and the lightness is 67%, so we put it for the purple, 67%. This should work as well. We collapse it, violet, copy, paste it here, take the hue and saturation, lightness is 90, and this is, you know, pretty stupid, prone to error, but it's the only way we have at this point, since the SAS way isn't working. So 78 for the lightness in this case. And now for the yellow, at least we got past the halfway point. So this is 71 for lightness. It's stupid and I'm hating it, but and you're probably bored to death in the awning and whatever. But yeah, this is the last one, 79 for lightness, and this should be it. 79, this is it. And now you can see it working. So I hope this gave you cool ideas, and if you have other suggestions, just drop them in the comments or on Twitter. And yeah, this is it.